In January, US News put out its 2020 Best Countries rankings. It asked over 20,000 people their perceptions on over 73 countries, and at the top of its corruption list was Colombia. But is that really fair? So Colombia's poor rankings are slightly unjust. US News skews its survey stats by having factors such as excessive bureaucracy contribute to its corruption score. The more trusted Transparency International Index, based on business and expert datasets, actually ranks it 96th in the world, above most of Latin America. That's still nothing to brag about though. By the state's own estimates, corruption costs the country $18 billion per year, and understandably, Colombians are fed up. In fact, the huge November general strikes, or paro nacional, which lasted months, were preceded by violent clashes on Bogotá's streets between anti-riot police and students protesting corruption. The outbreaks kicked off in September, when students, already angered at education cuts, got news that a university boss had siphoned off $3 million to spend on jewelry, luxury cars, hotels, and prostitutes. Added to this fraud was the institutional book dragging. The splurge had gone undetected for over 4 years in a fog of bureaucracy that so often enables illicit enrichment. Enough was enough. Perhaps combating corruption could be the unstated common cause of the massive paro nacional protests. In Colombia, it affects everyone through a multitude of small mechanisms, such as the price fixing of toilet paper or paying a small bribe to get seen at the health clinic. This cash payout is known as la mordida, or the bite. A recent Gallup poll reported that only 11% of Colombians trust their legal systems. Even when their politicians are caught and jailed for corruption, they still manage to escape. Check out this video of a jailed congresswoman escaping by a rope through a dentist's window. Spectators rush to help who they think is an innocent woman, and she gets away on a waiting motorbike. Aida Merlano had been convicted of vote buying, and her daring escape plan was clearly facilitated by some of the very people locking her up. But it is much more of the less dramatic, everyday corruption that affects most people. This is often seen as the carrusel de contratos, or the contract carousel, made famous by Mayor Morano 10 years ago. He was found guilty of embezzling almost 2 trillion pesos from public works. This is the cause of many half-finished infrastructure projects littering the country. Political control of these contracts is called mermelada, jam to be spread among key supporters and henchmen in the form of sweetened contracts. These in turn guarantee votes at the next election. This political patronage is so embedded that few believe it will ever actually end. Or will it? Some commentators see improvements. Mayors elected in Bogotá and Medellin are left-wing candidates elected on anti-corruption platforms. At a local level, technical advances are reducing corruption. Take Bogotá's new automated traffic cameras, for example. You can't as easily bribe a computer. Oh, and that university boss, he's behind bars. And the escapee congresswoman, well, she's been detained in Caracas, Venezuela. Meanwhile, Colombia's ruling class still claims the high ground. In response to the US News survey, Vice President Marta Lucía Ramírez claimed that perceptions of corruption in the country were the fault of the media. She says, the ideas that Colombia is corrupt is based on the entertainment industry peddling shows such as Narcos.
Preguntan a la gente, a un sueco, o a un noruego, o a un finlandés, de pronto esa gente que tiene en su cabeza la película Narcos, la película Pablo Escobar, ese es el daño que le hace a Colombia realmente, esa mala publicidad que viene también muchas veces de toda la industria audiovisual.
She also said that state institutions have embarked on a battle against corruption, yet the issue is now permanently on the table thanks to strike demonstrators and a massive army of online anti-corruption commentators across social media. An end to corruption is the hope that glues Colombia's disparate groups together for one common goal: change.